Here are your hosts for the Super Soaker, Ben and Skin.
Ooh, soaked.
Hello, friends of the Super Soaker. He's Ben, I'm Skin, and we are here on a Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., just as we are on every Tuesday and every Thursday. We do the Super Soaker live here on the Ben and Skin YouTube channel. There's lots to get to. If you've been listening to the radio show we do on 97.1 The Eagle, you'll notice Ben has not been there for a few days, and it's time to reveal the shocking secret about that. We'll do that in a moment. But Ben, you got back in town late last night, and we were texting, and I was like, okay, great, man. Hey, everybody make sure to get up and at 8:30 listen to Sean and RJ because Jerry Jones is going to be on there. And then I promptly did not do that. But from what I understand, you had your ear near a radio or streaming service or something, and you actually heard Jerry on with Sean and RJ this morning.
I did, because you yelled at me in your dad voice on the text. You told me to listen.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, I know. I checked it out. It was funny because it was just a few minutes before it was going to start, and I was asking Kat, you remember how to stream the fan? It's like been a long time. I don't even know the fucking name of the company they are now.
That sounds like that post videos to Facebook scenario.
Yeah, and I was like, shit, I waited too long. And so I just took a coffee mug out to my car, turned my car on, and listened that way. And it started with, I'm like, first of all, I'm thinking, okay, Jerry owes them an apology. Mm-hmm. They've been doing this for a long time. He was incredibly disrespectful. I thought they handled it perfectly. You know, it's a difficult situation for them to be in, but he kind of misrepresented what their relationship is, and then he took shots at their credibility. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking, okay, Jerry's going to start this thing with an apology, and the way the whole interview started was, first of all, Jared Sandler was in for RJ because RJ wasn't there.
Okay. And
so Sean starts off the interview by, I think he reset that and said who was there to kind of help Jerry out. And RJ's not here. First thing Jerry said was, hello, RJ.
Jerry's a genius. I love that bit.
He did not mention anyone else.
Yep.
And so Sean was like, actually, Jerry, that's the one guy who's not here today. And they just moved on.
Jerry didn't even acknowledge that he said hello to a man on vacation.
Yeah, and
right.
I don't think he did. And then they started, and Sean said, look, Jerry, obviously, and I'm paraphrasing, I could get this wrong, but it was like, hey, you know, there's been a lot of discussion over our interview last week. We'll just give you the floor here. Is there anything you want to say about last week's appearance on our show? And he was like, nope, don't have anything to say.
What a dick.
Yeah, it's a total dick move. And, you know, it just was, when I heard that, I was like, yeah, man, you got to take the keys away. This is the end. And we're just, you know, he's totally unaware of how Cowboys fans feel, of what his relationship is with the media. It's gotten too muddy. It's all too muddy for him. It's all business partnerships and thinks he owns everybody and just huge egotistical move and horrible play. All right, somebody points out in the comments, Jerry made a joke after they pointed that out to him that RJ was ducking the confrontation. So
okay, that's a good Jerry joke. I like that.
You know, and his tone was a light tone, I guess, after that, but it was he totally missed the opportunity to apologize to those guys and take the high road, and he would have won over a lot of favor. And Jerry's really good at being human. You know, especially if you get to interact with him in person, he's just a nice guy, and man, this is so poorly played on every level. So yeah, he botched his opportunity to apologize.
I mean, we know he's full of shit, but he's really good at being full of shit. It's worked out really well for him in his life. And then there's just certain times where it's just so transparent. Usually when he gets caught up in being full of shit, he'll tell some like really strange meandering story with a punchline that like an ant is on a battleship or something, or like there's a moth on a dog's balls or something. Like, you know, he'll do all that sort of little town country guy thing. But, you know, he doesn't care anymore. I mean, I think like he's got to be jaundiced to it to some degree. I mean, all he's had to do in the last really 15, maybe longer, 20 years is turn on the radio and hear people criticizing him. So the fact that he got worked up about it now, I think more than anything, to me, could be wrong. It just kind of underscores, what we talked about going into this season, where the future for the Cowboys, at least from a playing perspective, is more unknown than it's ever been. So many people on one-year deals. Now, they did fortify that with Dak, and you're sitting there going, okay, they're married to Dak and they're married to CD for the immediate future, but this could be an entirely different coaching staff next year. And maybe as part of that, if they do end up getting, like you've been, talking about this for years, the idea of Belichick coming in, there's a new GM situation. Belichick doesn't just come in to be the coach. That's not, well, I'd be shocked if that happened. So what does that look like? What did, and everyone will point to the Bill Parcells situation. Man, that was done to get a stadium built, a stadium. I don't know if he's trying to get a casino in the sky built or what. I don't know, but that's done. And so his age, they're bringing in some huge swinging dick. There's going to be other changes besides just coaches added. So.
Yeah, and Will McClay's been great, but he's missed on quite a few recently. And you ask people who are closer to the organization than I am, and they're like, well, at time the coaches have huge influence, and so and so I'm like, okay, well, it's all the same. So like, it's a committee, and if a coach wants to go pick a specific player, sometimes he can make a power move and go get that player. So
right,
it's not all Will McClay by himself anyways. And this thing is it's such a cycle. It's the same thing. You get hope, there's parity in the league, the Cowboys are in the mix, you feel like they got a shot, you get your heart broken, and they got to make wild swings and changes, and we got to go, okay, well, we had to play, it's kind of like the teacher who's too student friendly, now we got to get a disciplinarian teacher. Well, that was too disciplined, now we got to get a cool teacher. I find myself caught in the loop too, because part of me is like, okay, so I mean, you could basically sell me anything. You could sell me, hey, you got to go get the young, sharp mind, the young guy who's like on the cutting edge of scheme, and he's going to scheme all these guys open. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, give me that. And they've had that, and it didn't work too. And then it's like, you could sell me on, hey, fucking Belichick, you got to go get some football culture here. That's the guy who's going to reshape the culture. And, I find myself going, look, no matter what, I do not want to draft a running back in the first round, because I don't want to use the resource on that, because you're not going to re-sign him. And so you should never re-sign. You shouldn't give a running back a second contract pretty much ever. And now I want to draft a running back with the first round pick, that kid out of Frisco who's unstoppable. So, dude, I don't know. I was a guy who wanted Johnny Manziel over Zach Martin. I don't know what the fuck is going on either.
Well, I mean, look, you can work in scouting and get it wrong, right? There's no layups on this deal. The one layup is I have the number one pick the year Peyton Manning's coming out. Like, right. There's very few layups in any of this. Just wait until Sunday night when they beat the shit out of the 49ers and see how you feel. And they're sitting there at 4-3. Oh, it's going to happen.
I'm going to buy in again. Yeah, they're missing their whole team.
What? Oh, don't worry about it. We're fine. Okay, so let's move on. We do have some Mavs stuff to get to. I do want to spend a little bit of time. One of the things that we want to do on the Super Soaker is do things that we don't do on the radio show. And so, you guys that have been with us for a long time, our radio show is way different than it was 4 years ago or 5 years ago, et cetera. So at the Eagle, we're not going to spend a significant amount of time talking about A Tribe Called Quest, but we will on a Ben and Skin Super Soaker. So we'll do that later, because they're in the news. But you have been gone from the show the last 4 shows. You're going to be back tomorrow. You got in late last night, and that is because you went to a Mexican celebration.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever been on a vacation where I kept a journal.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. I had in my notes on my phone, because I didn't want to forget anything. And It was in part for the radio show, but Then I thought about, man, I might want to write something about this just to save this moment in time for my family, just to think about like where the family was, how we were feeling and thinking, because I don't always log that stuff and then don't always remember. And this was a very unique trip because we were supposed to go on this trip with our friends, the Knights, Kevin and Bridget Knight, good friends of ours that live here in Light Farms. And the day of our vacation ended up being the day that Dirk did his tennis event. Mm-hmm. And so we audibled out of that. They couldn't audible out of theirs. They went ahead and went during that weekend. And so Kat and I had this floating vacation where, all right, I'm already going to take, 4 days off of work. Let's go to Mexico. And so we went to Cabo. And, we've been so busy with all the shit we got going on that I don't have time to be that involved in any of the planning for this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Plus, I'm not great at it. And so, but this really gets down to a huge difference in mine and Kat's personalities is that I waste money and she saves money.
Okay.
And I adhere to your dad's philosophy on vacations where I don't ever want to try to save money on a vacation. Like if you're going to go on a vacation, go big. Like as you pointed out, you're never going to be able to make it make sense financially. So just go all in. And so I want to go bougie. I want to spend the extra money. I will pay extra to have it be more extravagant just because why not?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's that's whole part of the deal, right? It's like once you're there, you're already, the money's spent. So once you're there, you don't want to start looking around going, well, this kind of sucks. Like you go all in, like the money is spent. If you have to spend more money to make it incredible and go into incredible debt and pay 22% interest rate on a credit card, you have to do those things because otherwise, what is life even worth living? I want to ask you this right quick because I don't know, Ben. I'm curious if you knew. I don't think I've ever been to Cabo. I've been to some, Mexican resorts and, the all inclusive and all that stuff. And we've done Cancun and stuff on the Mayan Peninsula and all that. Cabo's like a big party city, right? I'm getting this, I think, from an old Sammy Hagar song. I don't think I know shit about Cabo.
So Sammy Hagar does own a bar there.
Okay.
God, I forgot what it's called now, but we walked past it and said, yeah, we don't need to go in there.
Is it Cabo Wabo?
Yes, Cabo Wabo. Okay.
He's got a song called Cabo Wabo, or maybe it's a Van Halen song. Hell, I don't remember.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find any place in Mexico, any of the main tourist cities that don't have that aspect to it. Okay. There's going to be cheaper places to stay for students who are going for spring break. But I think Cabo is more on the high end in general. Like I think a ton of celebrities go there.
Gotcha.
It's been called the Beverly Hills of Mexico. There are huge gated communities where all these, gazillionaires live and things like that. And so you could do any number of things. You could stay at a super cheap place or you could stay at a Waldorf Astoria right on the beach.
Okay, hold on. Let me make a request of our producer, Jason, because I don't think he's doing shit right now. Jason, while Ben's talking, would you mind pulling up a map of Mexico that shows me where Cabo is so I can physically see it? Just do it whenever, and then you go back to your jam, Ben.
Okay, so I'm gonna take you through what were some of my favorite moments from this trip, and I'm gonna start where the reason I tell you all of that is because when I go to Mexico, I'm thinking. And first of all, our friends, the Knights, are really good at finding spots to go to and do all-inclusives, and they're bougie like me, so they go to like super high-end places that are all-inclusive, so they know the good spots. But this was weird because this trip was booked through Costco.
Oh, yeah, dude, I forgot that element. So Kat was buying like a giant industrial-sized pack of chicken wings, and she looked over, and there was a vacation opportunity?
Yeah, so I'm like, I want to puff my chest out and go, man, I am fucking high rolling. Let's fucking go. Do you know how much I paid for this? And then every once in a while, somebody go, yeah, you've booked through Costco, right? And you're like, ah, shit. I guess we did book through Costco.
Okay, hold on. This already kind of starts to feel like the gravy gonna set it off, which we'll announce that later. We do have a special date for that. We have special things going on for that. Okay, so it's way over on the west side. I did not realize where it was. This makes a lot more sense to me as to why it would be a destination for celebrities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, that's making sense to me. Oh wow. If you look right over to the right there, Ben, I always butcher the name. I believe it's pronounced Masalan.
Mm-hmm.
That is where my wife's mom is from.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't bump into her.
She wasn't there?
No, we didn't bump into her, and I couldn't see her.
She would have made you amazing ceviche.
I would have eaten it.
Yeah.
I would have liked it. So anyways, you can see the juxtaposition between where Kat's coming from and where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been so busy that the night before we left, I asked Kat, did you get cash for the trip? And she goes, damn, I forgot. All I want to do is power tip, man.
Yeah.
I want to power tip the whole time. I'm like, I feel so awkward if I'm not tipping. I always over tip, and I feel horrible if I'm not able to over tip. And so she didn't go get money. So she had to go at the last minute. She went and got some cash. She didn't get that much cash. So now I'm like, God damn it. I can't really power tip the way I want to.
They want to tip in pesos, dude. You got to carry a giant bag of coin pesos to tip.
Even the driver, like, we got a ride to the airport because we were trying to figure out, is it smarter to get a ride or park there? And so we got a ride, and I'm like, did Kat tip this guy enough? Probably not. I'm like, damn it, I don't have any cash. So anyways, that's how the thing starts. We get there to the airport. We go through the security check, and for the first time in my life, I got my balls checked.
Wait, what?
TSA, I go through, you hold your hands up, you go through, and they scan you and everything. And the guy goes, man, he goes, this machine's too sensitive. I'll just show you on the screen saying I got to check this area. And it was my whole body outline and then a red laser dot in my taint. So he goes, I'm going to use the back of my hand. And he had to fully check my sack.
Did you get worked up?
Absolutely. Just the thought of it. I was like, hold on.
Crazy. Were you showing?
I was like, hold on. I'm going to pretend that you look like KT. Hold on.
Did he do it from in front or behind?
From the front, man. It was great.
Did he kneel down?
I just went. So anyways.
Did he take a knee?
That was weird. Yeah, he got down on his knee. He hated doing it. He hated doing it as much as I hated him doing it.
Did you put your hand on the top of his head?
The behind his head.
Okay.
Kind of made him get closer than he wanted to get. That was terrible for everybody. So
did Kat watch?
She was watching in horror. And so
great.
For me, a career fat guy, my weight fluctuates, but I typically do the no carb thing, a variation of soda at all times, and the ebbs and flows. And I had done poorly and then got it back on track. And so when I go on vacation, I've tried to go on vacation before and stay on the diet, but it just doesn't work. And so I'm like, all right, fuck it. It's a 3-day vacation. I'm going to eat carbs. Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to go in the airport. We have a bunch of time before a flight. So we go to Chick-fil-A. And we finally get up to the front, and we're going to pay. And it says, do you want a tip? And Kat goes, what? I've never seen this. Now, keep in mind, I'm already feeling like we live in a bubble, prosperous line area. We're very fortunate to have the jobs that we have, and we're doing well. And that, we're doing better than a lot of people out there. And I'm aware of that, and I'm grateful for that. And we've worked hard to get to this point. But being in the airport, I could feel, I'm like, man, this isn't great. Like, things aren't great out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mexico does not have a strong economy.
This is at DFW Airport.
Oh, DFW Airport does not have a strong economy.
And so we're at this Chick-fil-A, and there's just people working at the Chick-fil-A, and it's like, man, I felt guilty because here we are going on this gorgeous Mexican getaway, for a weekend, and here they are busting their ass. And so, yes, I'm going to tip. I'm going to over tip in this situation. It's how I'm made. And so Kat, probably sensing that coming, she's facing the staff basically. And she's like, what? tip? I don't tip at Chick-fil-A. Why would I tip at Chick-fil-A? And I'm like, will you please stop yelling that? You're yelling. She goes, why? You're facing like the staff. You're yelling it to the people that would get tipped, and you're like killing the tip party for anyone else.
Did she point at the employees and say, "You don't deserve a tip"? Look at you people. Gotta say that while I probably would not make that proclamation while staring at them, I agree with her.
Right.
I agree.
I go, you don't tip at Starbucks? She goes, no, why would I tip? I go, oh my God, I tip every time I go. And I go every day.
The world has changed, but I remember we had a buddy that's owned some super high-end restaurants, and he's owned some restaurants where there's counter service.
Yeah.
And I asked him, what am I supposed to tip at the counter? He goes, never tip more than $2.
Right.
Now times are changed. It's different, but that always stayed with me as I overtip for 1 cup of coffee, and I'm rounding up.
All right. Now a quick observation.
Yep.
When you're at the airport, you always see these guys. They're driving a airport taxi. It's like a topless golf cart.
Yeah.
It's more rectangular, and the guy's driving, and they're carrying around senior citizens or something on there.
Right.
And they're like, excuse me, pardon me. And it's already so crowded. And I'm like, how do those guys, that's got to be the most stressful job, because how do those guys circumnavigate driving a rectangular vehicle through a crowd? Because if you nudge one person, you're fired and there's a lawsuit, but they somehow get through those crowds and get where they're going. Those guys deserve a knowing nod of respect.
I mean, I think they're good at their job, right? They've spent some time on the craft, and then also they know ultimately they might lose their gig, but it's the airport that'll get sued if they crush someone's foot. So they don't have a lot of stake in that game. You know, they're fine. They can just run someone over. It's no problem.
Now, the next part of the story is something I've only confided in you, and I probably am not going to share it here.
Okay. I'll shut up.
Because I think it's the worst thing I've ever been through.
Yeah.
And I later regretted having to burden you with it.
I will say it changed the complexion of my next 4 days. Like, I didn't recover from it. But Ben, if you get him drunk, is a cheap whore, and he will tell you that story. So get Ben drunk one night and pull him aside, and he'll tell you what happened.
I'm just going to say that I had in a stressful situation where, first of all, we got on our flight. And when we got on our flight, I thought I needed to rock a deuce.
Oh, yeah.
They said, hey, we've got some problems. It's going to be 30 minutes. We wait 30 minutes. They say, hey, we have some other problems. We're going to have to deplane. Sorry, we're not going to be able to take this plane. I'm like, holy shit. So we get off the plane. I'm thinking I'm going to have some time. So I go ahead, go to the restroom, and then I start getting notifications that, hey, the plane is getting ready to board. I'm like, oh, no. And I'll just say I ended up in a situation that required me to go and seek out dude wipes.
Yep. It's a great product.
It is a great
Fantastic
product. It is a great product.
Yep.
But I'm not going to tell that story here.
No, I mean, and now no one can figure out at all what happened.
Okay, so one of the things, when I spend a lot of time with my wife, I realize that she does not have a good grasp on spatial awareness. Mm-hmm. Spatial awareness, I think it's a huge thing for me, and I think it comes from playing so much basketball.
Okay.
I truly do. And I think we've seen the way that Tony Romo would deal with spatial awareness in the pocket as an NFL player ties back to his grasp of spatial awareness as a basketball player. And so I am constantly aware of all spacing, constantly. And my wife is unaware of any spacing issue. And so when you're together and you're walking as a couple in a crowded space, you really realize, okay, we both should have an awareness here, but we don't. And so as a couple, you kind of got to decide, are you going to walk side by side? Because the other people that are going the opposite way of you are reading your intentions and then trying to move around you. But if you don't have no intentions and you're just wondering, the people in front of you and the people behind you don't know what to do. So spatial awareness came into play a lot of this. I was stressing over my wife's lack of awareness, but it wasn't just that. I'm stressing over other people's lack of awareness. And so I'm getting on the plane, and walking back to our seats, which are towards the back of the plane. And on the first plane, before we deplaned, I noticed that a guy was aggressively crossing his legs. He was in an exit row to where his foot and ankle were out in the way of the aisle as, 40 people were getting on the plane.
Yeah.
It was bullshit. And so the first time around, I went around his ankle, let his ankle and foot inconvenience me. Okay? The next time on the next plane, because we deplaned and had to get on another plane, I drew contact.
Oh, nice. Now, how big a boy is this?
No, about normal size, about a
Okay.
normal size person.
Yep.
I probably, if he was larger than that, I would have avoided the contact. But I went ahead and maintained my right to be in my space and walk directly into his foot and ankle.
Okay.
Okay?
Did you hit it hard?
Somewhat.
Okay, good.
I mean, I didn't kick it or anything, but I walked right through it. I'm like, this is my space. I'm entitled to it. This guy's unaware of his space he's taking up. And so, what do you think happened?
I think he goes, "Hey, man." And then he stopped when he saw that you were bigger than him. And he moved his ankle back.
I felt so bad because he goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry."
Oh, no. Did he have a medical condition?
He immediately apologized, okay? Later, when we got to Mexico, guy didn't understand spatial awareness. Why is it that when people wear a backpack, they don't account for the space that it takes up?
Oh, you talk about when they turn? And
Yeah, we're on
an elevator a lot.
Yeah, we're on a bus on our way to the airport. Guy's turning around, smacking us with his backpack. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You see it a lot with belly weight.
Okay.
And I just feel like with backpacks and belly weight, people don't always account for the extra space that it's taken up. So for whatever reason, that's a Bermuda Triangle where people feel like they don't have to account for their belly. That's why you'll see bellies bump into stuff sometimes because people are like, oh, shit, I was not accounting. In my mind, I was not accounting for that belly weight. Same thing with a backpack when people are turning. And so anyways, the spatial awareness thing was a big problem the whole trip.
I like your new podcast, Backpacks and Bellyweight with Ben Rogers. I think
Yes.
that's a great show that I'll be watching.
So we are on our way, and we start hearing, hey, don't forget to fill out the paperwork. When you arrive in Mexico, you'll need to turn this in. And so, I'm super nervous about it. Later on, Kat goes, did you have fun on the trip? I go, yeah. What do you mean? I had a great time. She goes, I think I had more fun than you.
Oh, great. So is she apologetic or she's taunting you?
I go, why do you think that? She goes, well, just because I don't worry about the stuff you worry about.
That's fair.
So
fair.
Here's an example of that. So going into Mexico, I'm concerned. Like, do we leave the resort? Some people say stay at the resort. Some people are like, nah, Cabo's safe. Go anywhere you want. But be very careful about getting into an Uber or a taxi. I'm like, wait, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm
Hold on. I want to go back to that. that. Be careful about getting into an Uber and a taxi. Don't not take one. Be careful, because what is it that you're going to see in an Uber or a taxi that's going to tip you off that you're about to enter danger? It's a really silly thing. It's either don't take a taxi or an Uber, or, hey, man, everything's fine, but be careful. What do they want you to have your hand on your firearm? Like, what are they even talking about?
At the resort, there's a huge security gate. And if you call for an Uber, they are not allowed into the hotel area until hotel security lets them in. And they're like, hey, no matter what, do not get in the wrong Uber. Do not get in the wrong car. First of all, take a picture of the license plate, send it to the hotel so they know who you're going with, and make sure you get in the right car. You do not want to get in the wrong car. You're like, oh, shit, what is about to happen? Like, it's stressful like that.
Right.
And so anyways, going into this, I'm like a little worried about it anyway. There's a lot of things I'm worrying about. And so Kat checks a box on the paperwork. She checks the wrong box. And as we're going through customs, they're like, you're bringing in over $10,000 in cash?
That's great.
I go, wait, what? What? They're like, you checked right here that you're bringing in over $10,000 in cash. I'm like, no. Everyone, no, this is wrong. I just want everyone to know this is not true. We're not bringing in.
We're here to buy fentanyl.
we barely have enough cash to tip everyone. My wife made the ATM run. She's very frugal. So then, everything's fine. We get to the hotel, and I don't know how you feel. Do you go on all-inclusive trips?
We've done it before, yeah. I mean, it just depends on what part of the world I'm going to. If we're going to go to Mexico, I'm sure we're going to do all-inclusive. Or, honestly, like, I don't even know the last time we went to Mexico, and I don't know if we're going back. I just haven't put a lot of thought into it. Like, I don't know what would drive us to go there, really.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. I'll say this. The food was awesome. Mm-hmm. Service was spectacular. Man, I feel like we got our money's worth. Some of the meals were like, wow, this is, really quality meal. This is like going out to a super nice restaurant and almost in Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah.
But this is where there's a problem. I felt like it was hard to get a spot by the pool. And that's the only reason we went, was to go hang out at the pool, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, what happens is people get up in the morning, they rush down there, and they put their flip-flops and a book on 2 patio loungers. Now those are claimed.
Mm-hmm.
And I got down there, and I'm like, holy shit, we can't find anywhere to sit. And so Kat was like super happy with the Costco booking. And the way the whole resort was set up was we were the peasants. We were sitting in the peasants area. Then there was a diamond club.
Oh.
Then there was the residents above them.
Right.
And I noticed like some guy had gone over to get a blue pillow for his lounger. And they're like, whoa. That's for the residents only. And he was like, I'm a diamond member. They go, oh, no, this is not for you. And so anyways, there's this whole hierarchy. And if you can see the other things in front of you. It's like Jennifer Aniston said, if you want a man to want you, show him your canvas and then show another man wanting to paint it. You're sitting there and you can't even get a spot at the pool. And then you see these people being fed fruit, like it's a poolside, orgy.
Right.
And they're having the time of their lives. You're like, how much do they pay for that? Right. Like, if you just go to this hour and a half meeting about our sales pitch,
No.
So I was so upset about not being able to find anywhere to sit by the pool. I am now Googling other places to go stay. So I'm going to move us to I don't even want to deal with anybody. I'm just like, I don't want to spend money on vacation. I don't want to have to just worry about, that's why we're here, to be by a pool. I don't want to go hustle and fight and scrap and claw to get a patio lounger. Right. I will pay to be like, somebody get me a spot. And I'm looking up how expensive it is. I'm like, God, this is going to suck. But I'm really close to leaving and going to and a guy comes over. He's like, is everything okay here? And I was like, no, it's not okay. You guys don't have enough spots at your pool for the amount of people you have. And he was like, perhaps you'd like to go hear a sales pitch about, the
right.
Diamond Club. And I'm like,
that's what I want to do in my time away from the States.
I was like, look, here's my phone. Here's another hotel in Cabo. This is what I'm doing right now, checking availability. He's like, oh my God, wait, hold on. So they ended up getting us a temporary spot, which was in the Diamond Club.
Okay.
Or whatever. They let us do that. And then we noticed it was awkward because people were noticing we were in the wrong area with the wrong bracelets on.
They're staring at your wrist.
So then I felt guilty about that. And then the guys, all of the hotel employees that made it happen were coming by going, hey man, I hope you guys are happy now. Da, da, da. And I'm like, are we supposed to tip them? I'm like, how many people? There's like 5 managers, like how many people do I have to tip here? And
they had entire team meetings about the Rogers duo.
Kat's got the cash, and she doesn't want me tipping everyone, and so we're arguing about should I tip, should I not tip each person. So another awkward thing was it kind of comes back to spatial awareness, and that is this place had the smallest elevators I've ever seen.
Oh.
So there's these tiny elevators. I think you could fit 6 people in there comfortably.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be that comfortable.
So
like
it's
4
is it smaller than our iHeart elevator?
Significantly. That's a normal size elevator. This is like, I don't know, a third of that.
Mm.
And like people were joking about it every time they got an elevator. It says, oh, you can fit 13 people. No way. If you have 7 people in there, everyone's touching each other, right? That's how tight it was.
And if there's luggage and belly weight
Oh,
and backpack.
God. Backpack, belly weight.
Up.
And so what's weird is that we'd be on this tiny elevator, and I now have massive spatial awareness. My anxiety's through the roof. I'm like, whatever conversation we were having, let's finish it once we get off the elevator. Kat would just have the conversation with me.
That's great.
I'm like, this is too small that we're now inconveniencing everyone on this elevator with all of our conversation. Like, I'm like, we'll talk about it when we get out. So that was weird. With Ubers, Kat she likes to save money, so she would order the smallest Uber on the island. I'm like, I can't even put my seatbelt on. Like, this is the smallest. Like, I'm like what? She's like, well, we don't need to spend money on Ubers. I'm like, I just want to be comfortable. All right. And then finally, I had my first panic attack on a plane.
Oh, really?
On the way back. Maybe it was on the verge of a panic attack. So, you know that when I travel, I like to sit on the aisle, right?
Yeah. Same.
So, you know, we're both tall drinks of water. We like to stretch out a little bit. And I'm claustrophobic. You know that, right?
Yeah. I think that has a lot to do with your propensity to be dialed in on spatial awareness, is I think part of that stems from you do get claustrophobic.
Yes. Sorry, it looks like my lighting went bad on me. So, yes, claustrophobic, very aware of spatial awareness. And so we're about to get on the flight to come home. And Kat goes, wait, I just got a text that they changed our seats. And we're like, what? And so we went up to the desk to ask the person before we got on the flight. And they were like, yeah, on this flight, the 2 seats you guys are set to be in, well, we've been notified by the plane that one of them is not functioning. And so it's broken or something. And so it will not be used on the flight. So they had us separated and both in middle seats.
Oh, ooh, oh, yeah, that's man, that would suck.
So we raise hell, and they're like, okay, well, we can move things around and put you guys side by side together, but you'll be at a window and a middle seat. That's all we got. We don't have an aisle seat. And so I'm like, all right, shit, let's just do that. I'll sit in the window seat. I'll get scrunched in there, and I'll just try to go to sleep or something.
Yeah.
And there was a very large woman sitting on the aisle.
Nice. You like girls of size.
So I like girls of age.
You like older
Senior
big girls.
citizens, yeah. No, not big. Not big. Big in the right place. What are you talking about? No.
Big in size and age.
I'm not trying to run a sweep, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm just,
Yeah.
So I climb into that window seat, and I'm like, the space between my face and the chair in front of me, because the guy backed up, is the distance of my phone.
Oh, man.
So the chair, it's like this.
Yeah. That's not. And then your legs, you don't know where to put your legs.
I was like, I needed double ACL surgery. And so I was like, I got to get out. Let me out right now. Let me out. And so Kat got up, and the large lady got out, and we got out, and I was like, I think we're going to have to get on a different flight. Like, I don't understand. I'm having like an anxiety attack. I can't, I'm too scrunched in there. Like, can't do a 2.5 hour flight. And, this badass flight attendant's like, oh my God, I totally understand. Where were you supposed to be initially? And we told her the seat number, and she goes, there's nothing wrong with those seats. I don't understand what the problem is. They had that wrong. That seat's fine. She goes and asks another lady on the flight, is there a problem with this seat? And she was like, no, not at all. And so they move us back to our original seats.
So this is all happening before you take off?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, before we could even take off. And so we go get in our original seats we were going to be in, and so I'm at peace. But the guy in front of me leans his seat all the way back, and the whole time he's like moving around, adjusting himself. It's almost spilling my water on the tray. And I thought about you, because I was like, Skin has this rule. Like, you've got me to where I don't ever back my seat up because I'm self-conscious about it. I don't want to do that to anyone else.
Right.
But he's doing it to me, and he's jerking around, moving around a lot. And I was like looking at Kat, and I was like, I want to give a forearm shiver to the back of the chair to like make a statement to the guy.
Yeah.
And Kat's looking at me going, don't do it. Don't. And I'm like, man, I've already given her enough anxiety on this flight. So I I just dealt with it the whole way, but spatial awareness and claustrophobia was a big player the whole time. But that said, I had a great time. I had a lot of fun.
You know what shocks me is when someone, to get out of their plane seat, grabs the back of the chair in front of them and pulls themselves up with it. I'm like, you realize you're just shaking some MFer in front of you. It drives me nuts. I did want to say something about the all-inclusive beach resort vacation. That it is I think the reason why I was saying like I wouldn't do it again is because I've done it and it's great. I'm not saying, man, that vacation sucks.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, okay, we've done that. We've done that. Now what do you want to do? Like at the age me and my wife are at, we're trying to go do something different each time, right? And it's usually related to the weather or the scenery or something like that. Those trips are badass. I've just done them before, so I don't know that we would do it again. I did remember while you were talking and describing that scene, we did go to a friend's wedding, and they did it at a resort, and that was, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, and I had a great time. I mean, they're a lot of fun. I'm not saying don't do those vacations. They're bad. They're not bad vacations. We've done it quite a bit, but
yeah, that's a great point. And really, I think it has to do with who you go with. And our plan was to go with our friends, and then we didn't end up going with them. Or I was thinking if our whole show was there, we would have had a blast. And the drinks aren't. I was talking to Kat about this. I was like, these drinks, there's not that much alcohol in them. She goes, really, it's a good thing there's not, because we've each had 18 cocktails today.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, and that's the thing. Someone will tell you, they go, man, I go on those trips and I power drink. It's like, yeah, you power drink because, they're trying to save money. So they're putting less alcohol in there. And they just end up drinking more and peeing in the pool.
I would do it again if it was with like a super fun group of people, like all my friends out here in my neighborhood or our show or a bunch of friends or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably if it's just me and Kat, I was envious of your trip. I was like, man, we should go to Europe or do something fun like that. Yeah, no,
I get it. By the way, I want to mention this right quick. You can go over there to the comment section and jump in. Fabricio said, what happened to the Mavs show you promised us on Monday, Skin? It's there. Like, we are doing this Super Soaker, and it's a live stream, but you can go watch our Mavs Soaktacular Season Preview. It's an hour and a half. We have a special guest, and Slightly Biased joins us. So if you want 90 minutes of hard-hitting Mavs content, when you're done with this Soaker, stay right here on our YouTube channel and fire it up. It's really, really good content. And coming up after this, we got a special Mav announcement. But right now, it's time to bend the news.
It's weird and wild. Let's see what's coming down the wire in the News Bender with pedestrian news fella, strip mall Steve Shackelberg.
Hi, Steve.
Good morning, gentlemen. How you doing?
What's
Good
up?
to see you. Good to see you, gentlemen.
Ben, KT was gone on Thursday and Friday, and you were gone. So me and Christina had Strip Mall Steve fill in and do the weekday update. He absolutely crushed it. And you know that whole Zoom scenario at the studio is badass because I could stare into Steve's eyes and he had no idea I was fishing it out while I was looking at him.
I love it. Is he going to get paid for that?
Hell no.
Oh, no. It's fine. I paid to do it. That's the thing. I still have a glorious gift card from last year they gave me for Christmas. $50 just sitting there waiting. I think I have to give that back.
Are you going to go to Kenny's Italian to finally make up for the compensation?
Yeah. Tons of those gift cards as well.
Yeah.
Well, yes, like you mentioned, everyone go get soaked in that Mavs Soaktacular Season Preview there. That's already on the video feed. So go do that. That's the big news.
Good job, Steve.
That's right. And speaking of fishing it out, let's get right to the news. All right, a New Zealand airport has introduced a time limit on hugs for travelers. Yes, they have implemented a 3-minute limit on hugs in its drop-off zone, advising travelers with a new sign, for fonder farewells, please use the parking lot.
What is that? I don't even know what the news story is because I was just laughing looking at shit. But I think there's a hug limit. But Ben, what does that hug remind you of?
I don't know.
It reminds me of the time one of our co-hosts got to hug Hannah Storm. Okay, what is this? Is this that 70s Watergate movie that was on HBO? I'm looking at the characters from this thing, man.
Yeah, I do like occasionally in the prompts. I like setting things in the 70s, but with modern touches. As you can see, many of them are on their cell phones, so it's not really the 70s. It's just what I imagine New Zealand is stuck in.
That looks exactly like a guy we went to school with, Kent Donahue, with a beard.
It's him as Burt Reynolds kind of merged together a little bit.
But he is going with the full-on boob honk hug.
Yeah.
Which is a power move. But he's got a briefcase. The AI loves briefcases.
They love it.
2 briefcases in this. And then the biggest watch of all time is taken out. Like it's a belt watch. And
what a great product.
What a great
belt watch.
There's tacos, but it's a runaway taco. The ingredients are all pouring out of the side. And then there's 2 massive bottles of taco sauce.
I think that's what New Zealanders eat.
This is so good. I love that right over Kent Donahue's shoulder on our left is old John Goodman. And then, ironically enough, over her shoulder to the right, you can see H.I. from Raising Arizona right back there in the background.
Yeah. And, dude, look between John Goodman and the guy on the left. There's isn't that Richard Petty?
Out of the back?
Yeah, in the very back, just tiny.
God, man, what an incredible flight this is going to be.
New Zealand slaps.
Dude, that 70s chick is hot.
Yeah, she's super into it and seems to be the only woman in the airport. So I don't know that this is consensual, but she seems happy right now. So interesting. But yes, new time limit. They said if you're going to spend more than 3 minutes, they just want to limit congestion. So just go out to the parking lot if you need to honk for longer than 3 minutes.
That's a no honking zone.
Exactly. All right. Man. In other news, sorry about that.
Nope.
A sexually frustrated dolphin took a bite out of a swimmer this weekend. Yes, the dolphin bite left wounds on the swimmer's left index finger, which ended up needing 5 stitches. But experts believe the dolphin's bites were an attempt to seek, quote, alternative companionship. So sexual frustration is what likely drove this dolphin to engage in rough play with the swimmer.
Ben, I think we're thinking of the same thing here, aren't we?
About the lady with the dolphin and
So we played this clip and it's from some, I don't know, PBS documentary about a lady's relationship. She's like some sort of oceanographer lady or whatever. And she eventually started relieving the dolphin of his pent up sexual backup. And I never in my mind imagined that the lady doing that looked like these 4 gals.
No. There's so much denim in this.
Yeah.
There's no ice. I don't know if those are beers. They look like cocktails with no ice. Mm-hmm. But
that's Europe. That is definitely Europe.
Yeah.
The dolphin sunglasses are not even covering his eyes.
So he's like Danny Glover.
Yes, exactly. In Shooter.
So I never saw it, but this looks like in my mind what Men in Black looks like.
It's similar at certain points. Maybe Men in Black 3.
Is Men in Black good?
No.
Okay.
It's decent world building. From I believe it was Barry Sonnenfeld that did that one or whatever.
Right.
But beyond that, no, not good. Sorry,
right.
90s people and millennials. I loved it when I was a kid, but it's not that great.
Do you like that dolphin shout out to Tom Landry?
That is a shout out to Tom Landry.
Oh, what a beautiful, fedora hat there for Landry. All right, moving on to other football news. Speaking of football, Aaron Rodgers appeared to pick his nose and eat boogers during Sunday Night Football. Yes, apparently Rodgers, during the loss, shoved his finger up his nose, grabbed a booger, and then ate it. This is a 100% proven fact verified by me. I watched the video of Aaron, repeated the motion myself in the mirror, and sure enough, booger ended up in the mouth.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I did not know this. Something weird going on with that guy's nose. There's like a
turning
finger.
into a finger. He sticks a finger, and then a finger pops out of his nose.
Mm-hmm. And he's got a briefcase, and they have so many hand condoms, and they're like picking crystals or something out of there. But There's one giant football, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't see guys like that. Looks like what's his name?
Dave Grohl.
It looks like Dave Grohl, dude. Look at that, wearing glasses. You don't see people just wearing glasses beneath their helmet.
No.
And then I love that the guy on the far right is number 3S. And he's got like an artificial ball sack hanging out of the front of his pants.
Power move. Let him hang.
Oh man, this is amazing. This is really good work.
And look at that. It's not even a helmet over on the far left. It's just a circular.
No. Yeah,
it's
a
a
volleyball.
ball. It's a volleyball made out of helmet.
Yeah, get that for all your favorite Jets fans this Christmas. A Jets volleyball.
They love it. They do love it. Well, in other big news here, apparently most women would prefer a night of beauty treatments versus a night of intercourse with their partner. Women say a new haircut, manicure, or any beauty treatment really makes them feel better than a night of passion between the sheets. And the reason is simple. Women feel better about themselves and more refreshed than when they're stuck taking that short, bumpy road to Pound Town.
What? That hand coming out of that briefcase has got one jacked up nail. You see that?
Yeah. She's got weird, super long fingers too. And I'm okay with it though. And look at the full black olives on that pizza. Not even cut.
Okay, I thought those were grapes.
Yeah, I don't know. The AI might be confused. They might be grapes. They look more like grapes, but I think they're supposed to be olives.
What's going on in the background?
That's Chuck Cooperstein at a bar. Look at that.
But they're strangely close. I don't know what Fabricio is doing with his hand there,
Yeah.
but man.
So yeah, just, next time you want to make your wife feel happy, I guess send them out for a manicure and don't put the moves on them, I guess is what this story is telling me, but whatever. I know.
Is that a calculator? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, that's okay. I thought it might. Wait, no, it's one of those credit card things, right?
Oh, right. Interesting.
No.
All right, a popular tourist beach is being overrun by sticky balls of tar. The unusual floaters were first spotted on Coogee Beach in Sydney, Australia last week, and the round nature of the balls indicates they have been buffed and smoothed at sea for months. A ship or small runoff was likely the cause of the balls, but removing them is expected to take several days or even weeks.
What are they? I don't understand.
They're balls of tar.
Oh.
Sticky tar balls.
And look at how many guys are okay. There's a bunch of people like in bathing suits with briefcases, and then guys in full suits with briefcases, and they're running from those Pac-Men.
I think they're also very confused because apparently the Wright brothers are flying around in the background. What planes are those?
And it's the Titanic.
Man, this is I would watch this movie, I think.
I think I would too. It's terrifying. Are those topless women on the far right?
Ooh, I hope so. Can I get the AI to do that? I'm going to try more.
I've seen a lot of that AI actually on Instagram.
I need to get on the dirtier AI side so that I can enhance. I need to see some nips.
What happens with our algorithms if we have topless animated characters? Is that a big deal?
I think it boosts it, if anything. I think you're going to go through the roof.
Yeah, I don't know the rules on that sort of thing.
Pure pearls.
Okay, Steve, go away.
No.
No. We'll have to save that for last time.
So weird.
And actually, I think what we'll do, Ben, is I think we'll push A Tribe Called Quest to Thursday because we got some good news for you folks. And that is here in a little bit, Ben and I are going to go down to the Mavs practice facility, and we are going to interview Kyrie Irving for a brand new show that we are doing on Mavs YouTube called Poor Spacing. It's a Ben and Skin weekly Maverick show done in conjunction with Studio 41 and the Dallas Mavericks. And we are really excited about this. You're going to be able to see episode 1 tomorrow at 6 o'clock on Mavs YouTube. We'll blast out links to it so you can see it. But we're going to go down to Studio 41. We're going to shoot it every Wednesday. It's going to be our look at Dallas Mavericks basketball in conjunction with the Mavericks. And to start the whole thing off, the nice people at the Mavs set up an interview with us and Kyrie Irving that we're going to go do. Really, we'll head down there as soon as the Soaker is over. But this is really exciting stuff for us, Ben.
Yeah, I'm so stoked about this. One of my favorite players to ever watch play basketball. He just does everything with such skill. It's like a love letter to basketball every time he plays, and it's just a thing of beauty. And I'm a little nervous about the interview just because, number one, you have a great rapport with him, and you've done such a great job with your job at the Mavericks. But having me, on your +1, it puts everything in jeopardy because I could screw it up.
I'm stressed about it,
and I just have every inclination in me is just to go full Chris Farley and go, man, remember that time, man, you're awesome.
I'm going to be cutting you off a lot. It's going to be like Teen Wolf, where I run up and grab the ball from you and start dribbling with it.
What he meant was this, as Kyrie looks on confused. So is it bad to go for a high five in an interview? Is that bad?
It's not ideal until the interview's over.
Okay, there you go. No, I'm excited, man. I'm really, really excited about this.
You haven't had a chance to see it, I would imagine, because you just got back in town. But over on Studio 41, Machine and Jake are doing a show called Round Ball Talk.
Yes.
And it is. Have you watched it yet?
I have not. I saw the logo, and I love the logo. An old basketball. That looked awesome. What is the twist? I saw them say there's a twist. What is the twist?
It's out there, man. It's like it's really entertaining. It's almost kind of like Mr. Show. I mean, there's a lot of non sequiturs. I'll put it to you like this: there's a Dwayne Price fashion show. I mean, dude, it's some wild stuff. So I highly recommend it. And then Damaris and Followell are back with Take That With You. That's their show. And so we're adding to that arsenal, so to speak, with Poor Spacing. Now, we're obviously going to be covering lots of Mavs on the Super Soaker. And if you haven't seen it yet, we would encourage you to watch it. Heck, watch it when we sign off here, or watch it tonight. Or watch it tomorrow, but on our YouTube channel, we have a full hour-and-a-half Mavs preview. It's our Soaktacular Mavs Season Preview, and we are joined by Slightly Biased, who is a very entertaining guy that covers Mavs on social media. So I had a blast doing that. So I'm excited for people to get to see that, and it's just residing on our YouTube page. And then also, Theory, pop on here. I don't want to say some crap I'm wrong about. Are we steering people to Ben and Skin yet as a hub for everything?
There's stuff there. It's going to get better and better, but they can get to the complete fun package there. They can get to the YouTube channel. They can get to all the free after party, and they can see Soakers playlists there. So yeah.
So if we always say, hey, we got a link for this, and we got a link for this. If you go to benandskin.com, it's all there. Ben, explain, Theory just talked about the complete fun package. Tell everybody what that bad boy is.
Yeah, so the complete fun package is a way for us to stay in touch with you. It's just basically it takes 30 seconds. It's free, and you basically just sign up, and the link is in the comments here, and you get to you basically just give us your email address. It allows us to email you every once in a while just to tell you things we're doing, exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. And in exchange for you giving us your email address so we can stay in touch and kind of keep you up to date with what we got cooking, you're immediately entered to win prizes. Like we're going to give away a big screen TV. We're giving away a laptop. We're giving away meet and greets, plural. We gave one away with Luka in April. So a Mavs fan got to go sit courtside, watch Luka warm up, and then go get things signed and meet Luka, take a picture with him. That was amazing. Well, we're going to do meet and greets like that and kind of give you guys opportunities to meet some of the people we get to interact with and come on some of these adventures with us. But you got to sign up for it. It's the biggest no-brainer ever. At least we thought it was. Like, look, if you dig the show, you like free stuff, this takes 30 seconds. They ask you a couple questions like, where'd you first find out about the Ben and Skin show, those types of things. And highly recommend you go sign up for that. And once we reach a certain plateau, we're going to start the giveaway. So do us a favor. If you've already signed up, invite your friends to sign up if they support the Ben and Skin show, because as soon as we get enough people entered, we're going to start giving stuff away.
It's all part of the complete fun package we're throwing out here.
Yeah, thank you, Dirk. Before we sign off and head down to the Mavs practice facility, there are a couple things. because you were gone, did you see any of the fan reaction or media reaction or anything to the Mavs announcement yesterday of their streaming platform and the coverage of the team and where you can see Mavs TV and all of that?
Yeah, I saw a ton of reaction. First of all, that's great that they're going to have an app. I'm super intrigued by that there's going to be a Mavs app. You can watch it on KFAA 29. You can get an antenna and basically pay for the antenna and get the games for free. There seems like there's a lot of options, but no matter what the options are, it seems like there's some people who are going to be upset no matter what.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about this a lot. Yesterday we had the conversation on the air, and I was kind of getting KT's reaction and then seeing a lot of reaction on Twitter. And this isn't the way that people want to think about this, but this is basically what the deal is. If you have to buy the streaming service to get the Mav games, to get the Mav season, then you end up spending, I think for the season, $120 or something like that. There's you can do it monthly or pay for the whole thing. And I went and did the math on it. No one wants to think about it this way, but this is the way people budget money. This way you're supposed to budget money. Basically, if you get the app, the price of 4 Mav games is the price to watch on your streaming service. The price of 4 Mav games is the price of 1 Chick-fil-A value meal. And so, to me, that's not expensive. But what I'm seeing in people's reactions and their commentary about this sort of thing is, one, and KT said this yesterday, depending on your age, there's a lot of people that are just used to give me everything for free. I'll take it off the internet. And that's a certain mentality. And that's fine if that's, how you grew up. I grew up when I was in high school, you didn't even get Mav games on TV. It was very rare unless you had cable and had HSE. The over-the-air games were few and far between. And anytime you got to see them, it was an incredible luxury. And then as I got older and could afford cable and getting every game, that was an awesome thing. But I've paid for cable. Primarily, I use it for all my entertainment, but also to get games. So I've never had this feeling, I don't want to say entitlement, because I think people find that a negative word, and I get it, but an expectation that I should get to watch all sports for free. And I think that's where everybody's at. And I think what the Stars chose to do with their Victory Plus was to give their product to everyone for free. And I would like to remind everybody, the Mavericks did do that. The games are free on Channel 29 and WFAA. You may not have a service that allows you to get that as part of your package, but they are free. So what this anger is about, and I get it, man, you want what you want, but this is about how streaming has changed everybody's lives. That's what this is. This has nothing to do with your basketball team. Your basketball team is adjusting to the new world. The Stars adjusted to the new world. That's what happened. I have AT&T Uverse. There was a month where Tegna was at war with them, and I suddenly didn't get Channel 8. So I had to go get Channel 8 on Hulu. But these are all decisions that you can make. Most of you probably live in an area where you can get Spectrum, or you can get AT&T Uverse or DirecTV. If you get those services, Channel 29 is on those services. It is not on YouTube. It is not on Hulu. And those are decisions you've made as a consumer to choose that over this. And I get being frustrated that you don't get what you want, but all of this is about, our world is different. The regional sports networks are going away, and they're gone here. It affected the Rangers, the Stars, and the Mavericks, and all three of them are reacting to it differently. But we all have to make decisions about what we are willing to pay for. And if the Mavs are important to you, as they are to me, like, I want to watch every game, so I'm going to figure out how to do it. It is available to me. If they're not that important to you, you'll decide not to do that. But everybody can't buy. I mean, I don't have Paramount Plus, and I'd love to have it. I don't expect them to give me their programming for free because I have but I have AT&T Uverse. Why doesn't Paramount just give me their programming for free? I mean, I get it. It sucks. But streaming has changed the music industry. It's killed it. It's changed the movie business. It's killed it. And it's changed how we consume sports. And all of these entities are trying to adjust to it the best they can. And I could promise you the Mavs are trying to give you the best options they can under the circumstances. But again, they did make it available for free. It's just whether or not what you've decided to use for the way that you get programming, whether it coincides with that or not. And if you chose to do something else, like YouTube TV or Hulu, you had the option of streaming it for that amount, and then you just have to decide if it's worth it to you or not.
Right. I don't fault anybody for feeling the way they want to feel about this. That's fine. Right. The world is changing. The way we consume media is changing and evolving. My kids get so much of their news and information from TikTok and YouTube. I mean, look at this YouTube stream we're doing here. You know, it's all changing and evolving, and everyone's trying to figure it out and understand it.
Right.
As consumers, as advertisers, and as content creators. And so it's a brave new world out there. And by the way, what is happening with my lighting? It's gotten darker and darker and darker throughout the show, and everything behind me is well lit.
I like that. Really, my cartoon face is the only thing that's well lit on your portion of the screen. I love that personally.
So weird. Weird. But again, we evolving, trying to learn it. How does this shit work?
If I have to look at Ben's poor lighting, I get it for free. I want it for free. Okay, that's gonna do it for us.
Wait, we lost you.
Really? I'm gone?
There you are. There you go. We got you now.
Okay. You're back on the show tomorrow, 97.1 The Eagle. Don't forget to watch our first ever Poor Spacing episode on the Mavs YouTube TV tomorrow at 6:30. And then tell your friends to sign up for the Complete Fun Package. Go watch our Mavs Soaktacular on YouTube right now. You're going to love it. Bye, everybody.
This has been another Iron Balls production.
Iron Balls!